December 11th, 2003. A dry, dusty hangar in Libya, not Islamabad, not the sleek, anonymous offices of Dubai. Here, in Gaddafi's backyard, a small, tight group of sharp-suited officers from the CIA and MI6, the Americans and the Brits are saying their goodbyes. They've been on a secret hair-trigger mission, negotiating disarmament with Gaddafi's people. The colonel wants back in from the cold. The paperwork is signed. Handshakes all around. They step up the ladder to the plane. Then someone slides them a stack of khaki envelopes. Okay? Manila, heavy with history. They get inside, tear them open. Nuclear weapons designs, full schematics, blueprints for the end of the world. All of it traced back to one man, Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan.
We were inside his house. We were in his offices. We were in his rooms. The CIA officer leans forward, hands folded on the table, the weight of what they accomplished and what they discovered, still heavy in his voice. This is the story he's been waiting years to tell. Former director George Tenet had told them to make Khan the priority. Not just a priority, the priority. At least as dangerous as Osama bin Laden. Tenet made that comparison after 9/11, after the towers fell, after the world realized that the unthinkable was now just thinkable.
A scientist, mentioned in the same breath as the world's most wanted terrorist. Khan, the man Western intelligence called the world's most dangerous man. And here's the thing that haunted every briefing, every surveillance report, every intercepted phone call. Was he acting alone? To understand the hunt, you have to understand the man. In Pakistan, Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan is a national savior, the father of the bomb, the hero who delivered the ultimate insurance policy after the crushing defeat of the 1971 war. The man who made Pakistan a nuclear power, who balanced the scales against India, who gave his country the protection they desperately needed. To the West, it was worse than any gunman. This wasn't about one man with a grudge. This was about a network, a fully operational black market, turnkey nuclear weapons program for hire, shell companies in Dubai, centrifuge designs for sale, enrichment technology delivered like pizza. And the question that kept everyone up at night, the question that drove the entire investigation, was the father of Pakistan's palm, acting as a rogue scientist. Or was he a government asset with perfect deniability?
The file on Khan stretched back decades. 1970s, Netherlands. A brilliant metallurgist working on uranium centrifuges at a company called FDO, legitimate work for legitimate power. He was good, sharp. Then, 1971 happened. Pakistan split in two. India had nuclear capability. Pakistan had nothing. That's when the scientist became the spy. Khan started copying everything. P1 centrifuges, advanced P2 blueprints, technical specifications that were supposed to be locked away. He photographed documents, memorized designs, built relationships with European businessmen who could supply the components. No questions asked, no paperwork trail. When he returned home in 1976, he wasn't just a scientist anymore. He was a savior. He built Pakistan's bomb. He got his hero status. And then, according to the surveillance logs, he got greedy.
The CIA first noticed a pattern in the mid-1990s. Khan wasn't just importing anymore. He was exporting. Travel records showed trips to Iran, to North Korea, to Libya. The frequency increased. Shell companies started appearing in Dubai, just a fax machine and an empty office. Disposable fronts that would shut down before anyone could ask questions. The network was elegant in its simplicity. He ran it like a corporation. He became a world-traveling merchant of atomization. The intelligence agencies started building the file. Surveillance photos, intercepted communications, banking records that didn't quite add up. They needed to understand the full scope before they could act. The first concrete evidence came from a defector, a mid-level Iranian official. He walked into a European embassy with documents, schematics, purchase orders, a literal price list, centrifuge components, $3 million, on-site consultation, negotiable, like ordering from a menu. The controversial Natanz facility, the underground enrichment plant that causes diplomatic, like grains, to this day was built in significant part with Khan's designs, his materials, his expertise. The file got thicker, but the analysts weren't finished.
Then, the North Korea files crossed their desk. Travel logs showed Khan made more than a dozen visits to Pyongyang between 1993 and 2002. Not quick trips, extended stays. The deal was elegant in its horror. Nuclear technology for missile technology. A straight swap. North Korea got centrifuge designs, enrichment expertise. Pakistan got the Gauri missile. And here's what kept the analysts up at night. There was no way Khan moved those missiles without government approval. You don't just ship ballistic missiles into Pakistan without the military knowing. The major mystery has always hung over these deals. Was Khan doing this alone? Or was the government involved, especially with North Korea? Khan criticized the Western monopoly on nuclear weapons, calling it hypocrisy.
The pieces were falling into place, but they needed the smoking gun. It came from the least expected source. March 2003. Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, that other monster, decided his nuclear ambitions were more trouble than they were worth. He wanted a deal. He was willing to trade everything. This plan led to a secret visit by MI6 and the CIA. The breakthrough was bigger than anyone expected.
But before we get to that hangar in Libya, we need to understand what changed. September 11th, 2001. The nightmare scenario wasn't theoretical anymore. WMDs in terrorist hands went from maybe someday to how do we stop this right now? The gloves came off. The CIA and MI6 started spending serious money, at least $1 million in some cases, buying Khan's own people, turning his network inside out. We were inside his house. We were in his offices. We were in his rooms. They monitored every trip, tapped phone calls, intercepted emails, followed the money through shell companies and offshore accounts. The evidence was piling up, but evidence isn't the same as leverage. For that, they needed something undeniable, something that would force Pakistan's hand. They needed those khaki envelopes.
The MI6 and CIA officers thought they were there for standard disarmament verification. Then someone approached them with the envelopes. "You need to see this," the Libyan official said. "This is where we got it." They opened them on the plane. Nuclear weapons designs, technical specifications for centrifuges, procurement lists, all of it traced back to the Khan network. This was proof, the kind of proof you use to pressure governments. The CIA officer radioed Langley before the plane even took off. "We got him." The diplomatic pressure was immediate and overwhelming. The evidence from Libya wasn't a request. It was an ultimatum. Pakistan couldn't protect Khan anymore. Not with the Americans holding Gaddafi's receipts, but they also couldn't hand him over. Khan knew too much. If Western intelligence got him in an interrogation room, the truth would implicate people the government desperately needed to protect. The compromise was ugly and perfect.
Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan appeared on national television, frail, diminished. Reading from a prepared statement, he confessed. He admitted to running an unauthorized proliferation network. The Pakistani government accepted his confession. President Musharraf immediately pardoned him for his services to the nation.
House arrest. A strange, silent limbo. Neither free nor imprisoned. He lived the rest of his life in his Islamabad home, surrounded by security, protected but silenced. He was prevented from traveling and speaking to the outside world. Western intelligence agencies demanded access. Pakistan refused. "He's our citizen. He's faced justice under our laws. The matter is closed." The fact that Dr. A.Q. Khan, although described by Western spies as the world's most dangerous man, K, is hailed as a national hero in his homeland of Pakistan, tells you a lot, not only about the complexity of his personality, but also about how the world views nuclear weapons.
So, was he the lone wolf he claimed to be? The ideologue who just wanted to break the Western monopoly? He once said, "I am not a mad or stupid person. They dislike me, and they make all kinds of fabricated and baseless allegations against me because I have ruined their strategic plans." But the evidence tells a different story. Those North Korean missiles didn't arrive by accident. The meetings between Khan and high-level government officials weren't coincidental. The real story of what he did, why he did it, and who gave the final orders may never be known. The truth died with Khan in 2021. A protected criminal. A protected hero. Forever.
Khan proved something that can never be unproven. The capability to assemble an atomic weapon can be bought and sold. The knowledge is out there. Decentralized, dispersed, expertise that can never be fully recalled. Designs that can never be unlearned. Khan ran his network for nearly 2 decades before he got caught. 2 decades of selling nuclear capability like it was software. How many networks are out there right now that haven't been caught yet? How many scientists in how many countries are making the same calculation Khan made? This knowledge is too valuable not to share, too profitable not to sell. What's a fella to do with that? Nothing but watch and wait, because the final scene hasn't been written yet.